Okay, Desperate Mercenaries back again. We are playing a 35 Soulstone game. Outcast versus Resurrectionist. I, Steve, am playing the Outcast. I am playing Hamelin the Plagued. I'm going to be taking Nyx, an Obedient Wretch, 2 Rat Catchers, one there, and 5 Malifaux Rats. Anthony is going to be playing Resurrectionists, Nicodem. Taking Nicodem, Mortimer, 3 Punk Zombies, and 3 Rotten Bells. For strategies and schemes, the Outcast have Claim Jump, 1 Secret One, and Plague on Malifaux, which is Hamelin's master-only scheme. The Resurrectionists will be taking Turf War, Death After Death, and Kill Protege on Nyx. We'll be back after turn 1. Okay, here we are at the end of turn 1. Resurrectionists got initiative flip, so they went first. Mortimer over here, dude with the shovel, activated first and companioned Nicodem with him. He first used Exhume, and then Nicodem cast Reanimator to get himself a Crooked Man. That dude right there with the cool little sledgehammer. It was a pretty uneventful turn. The bells pretty much just moved forward and cast Lure on some of my Malifaux Rats. And the Punk Zombies all just moved forward. They didn't do anything. Over here on my end of the board, Hamelin summoned himself a Stolen, which is right there. The Malifaux Rats all moved forward and they all got lured back. Nyx then moved forward and cast Herd Dog to get them all back in safe range of each other. The Rat Catchers also moved forward. Not a whole lot happened this turn, like I said just a minute ago. The Obedient Wretch moved forward and drew me a card, and that was pretty much it. That blank marker there is the Claim Jump marker, just for future reference, and we'll be back with more. Okay, here we are mid-turn 2. These 2 bells over here lured a couple of Malifaux Rats, and then Nyx, who was right here, moved forward and Herd Dog to get a few of them back, and then Nicodem over here channeled Decay on 1 rat and got the blast. So he did 1 damage to Nyx and killed 2 Malifaux Rats. He then cast Decay again on Nyx and successfully did 1 more damage. Then he bolstered Undead. And then this Punk Zombie right here, sorry for the crappy angles, this Punk Zombie over here charged Nyx, who's right there. He charged Nyx and successfully wiped him off the board. We'll be back at the end of turn 2. Okay, here we are at the end of turn 2. This Crooked Man here cast Cave In on this Punk Zombie and cheated it up to get some severe damage and a couple blasts. He ended up getting 4 damage onto this Rat Catcher here and killed a bunch of rats, but they all came back due to voracious rats. This Punk Zombie just moved forward. We had some more lure tricks, but nothing really came of it. Hamelin moved forward and then turned that Punk Zombie, that dude right back there, turned him insignificant. And then
he died due to cave-in.
He died when all that cave-in action happened. The Obedient Wretch just moved forward and drew me another card. Hamelin also summoned another Stolen. And that was just about it. Okay, here we are at the end of turn 3. As you can see, a lot of stuff happened. It looks quite confusing. It is actually quite confusing. Okay, at the beginning of the turn, towards the beginning of the turn, should I say, the bells lured this Rat Catcher here. They successfully lured him, and he pulled some of his rats with him. as you can see here. They also did quite a bit of damage to him. He was down to 2 wounds left. And then some of those rats that got brought up were sacrificed to summon another rat catcher due to Hamelin using obedience on one of the rats. The rats then did all kinds of attacks to pretty much every model he still has in play, dealing quite a few blight counters. All these little jewels are blight counters. They didn't do a whole lot of damage, but the blight counters were definitely laid out. That 1 damage there is on that rat catcher. Let's see. Hamelin is now placed on my claim jump marker. My stolen moved forward a bit. My obedient wretch moved forward just a bit. And that's pretty much all that happened. It was a very eventful turn, but at the same time, kind of boring turn. So we'll be back with more at the end of turn 4. Poet and didn't know it. Okay, here we are at the end of turn 4. And as you can see, the rats are doing their job. These are all blight counters and wounds on Mortimer. And that is 1 blight counter and 5 wounds on this Rotten Bell here. This Rotten Bell got pulled in with Irresistible Lure by Hamelin, who is just hiding over here. She has 4 wounds and a blight counter on her. Pretty much what happened this turn was the rats showed their dominance. They asserted dominance. Nicodem was taken out by them. A crooked man was taken out by them. And even though the Resurrectionists were able to kill my 2 rat catchers, 3 more rats got sacrificed to make another one. Still got 7 rats strong. Things are not looking good for the Resurrectionists at this moment. We'll be back with more on turn 5. Here we are at the end of turn 5. As you can see, there's not many Rezzers on the table anymore. Malifaux rats did a lot of damage. The Stolen cast Bleeding Disease on Mortimer to wipe him off the table. There is only 1 bell left, and she is insignificant. We are moving on to turn 6, and it's pretty much just some movement, and the game's going to be over. Be back in a few. Okay, here we are a few minutes later, and that's a lot of rats. On turn 6, Hamelin activated. He walked towards the claim jump counter and cast Irresistible Lure. Everything moved towards him, including that bell. The wretch was unfortunately killed by her master, but, you know, screw it. That's what she's there to do. All the rats moved forward to be within 3 inches of that claim jump marker. The bell also died. The secret scheme was bodyguard. I got it. He's standing right there. So here we are at the end of the game.
Final score 7-2.
Final score 7-2. Hamelin, good old Hamelin, took the game. We were the desperate mercenaries, and we will be for the next battle report too. Keep watching.